So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And tonight I'm joined by two members of the band Amarok. They're a band from Northern California, and they play like a doom black metal type of style. I was reminded a little bit of a band like Agalok when I was
Oh yeah.
listening to the music books. You got so those long songs and they're drony at times,
Hmm.
but pretty interesting stuff. I checked out obviously the album that's coming out next week, and I checked out your previous material just to get acquainted with the music. So first of all, how are you guys tonight?
That's awesome.
Good.
That's a very flattering comparison, Agalok is a really prominent Pacific Northwest black metal band, so
Oh yeah.
thanks. Yeah, we're doing great. I am Nathan. I play guitar in Amarok, and
I'm Kenny. I also play guitar. We got the dueling guitar brothers right now.
you got both guitars here today. Kenny also
Both.
does vocals though.
We also fittingly have two guitars on the wall right behind us. I don't know. I didn't know how that worked.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know that. Yeah, Kenny does some of the vocals because the other vocalist is your bassist Brandon.
Correct,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
the guitar, the setup looks great. That's a cool looking setup. So yeah, the band has been around now, I think since 2012, and you put out a couple of EPs, but this will be your second full length. So for people who haven't listened to Amarok, how would you describe the sound of your band?
Well, I think we probably both have something to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm not like a founding member of the band. I joined a couple years in. Um and I remember seeing Amarok live before I was in the band, and I just thought it was one of the most incredible projects I'd really ever seen. Just the sheer volume, it's like it's an experience to be in the room with Amarok playing. It's like such a powerful wall of sound force. And so that aesthetic, we've, kept that going and really built on that, I think, harmonically. And we've gotten really emotional in the music, and made that really the the foundation of it to really get at like catharsis. So when you see Emerald live, it's an experience. And we keep that going.
I mean, you nailed it. You got it pretty well. I'd just say, um, you could call us a doom metal band, a funeral doom band.
There are
For
just so
us,
many things that you can call them.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get
yeah,
confused, but yeah,
yeah,
you got that drony sound, that funeral doom, some elements of black metal,
Yeah.
but the songs are always they take their time, and I
Yeah.
think
yes,
you have like you build space, like you can hit a note and keep that note going and bend it, and not you don't if someone who wants to expect like super fast riffing, no.
Yeah, no.
It's not the band.
right.
Right.
There's something about the Pacific Northwest that brings that styles in bands. I'm sure it's all the fucking rain.
It
And
might
for
be
us, I think it's all the heat
for us.
The
because,
heat
Sure.
and the forest
we're
fires.
yes, we're right underneath, and this album, speaks to devastation of fires that we've had here locally,
Mhm.
I was
and
gonna
so
ask about that because of the album
yeah,
cover that we'll show later on the album cover and we can discuss it. But I've been
yeah,
to California and I've been to the northern side and the southern side, but I remember driving in the southern side and seeing like a sign that said there's like a 90% chance of like fires. I'm like, oh great.
Yeah, they have those along the freeway.
yeah,
It's like and it's almost always in the red these days. The needle
yeah.
on the fire imminent, danger of fire imminent. Yeah, because we've had a really long drought here. So people think of California as like this really kind of idyllic place, I think, and like beaches and everything, but people forget how big this state is.
No,
It's
this the
it's
state
huge.
is huge.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's like 4 different kinds of climate.
yeah, if
But
you go
all
to
of it's
San
good. Yeah.
Diego and San Francisco, they're totally different. Like San Diego's more like dry and like those areas like desert like. And then you have the San Francisco, that area with like the sequoia trees and
Yeah,
Yeah,
all the
the
redwoods.
redwoods.
the
Yeah.
redwoods. It's just like a different thing. It's a great state, except that it's so fucking expensive.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I,
have to
I
tell us about that.
yeah, I wanted to say though there is, I think
Mm.
for us and there could be the similarity of the Pacific Northwest, even though, we could be considered that, even though it's much hotter here. But I think just paying attention to your geography
Mhm.
and like where you live and drawing influence and inspiration from, your scenery, the nature that you're in. So I think, that's been a big part of our theme. So when you say that brings that to mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
for
I
sure.
live in Puerto Rico and we have black metal bands, and I'm like,
Nice.
why are you so depressed? Like we have, well, in Puerto
Yeah.
Rico we have 4 stages. It's less hot, hot, super hot,
Right.
and horribly hot.
Yeah.
Like,
And
Okay.
humid.
oh yes, and very humid.
Yeah.
Unlike California, California is not that
Or
humid.
dry
Yeah,
heat if it
the
is.
dry
Yeah.
heat.
It is
I
dry
think the
heat, but
humid heat is worse.
I agree.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Probably
Yeah.
because I was born and raised here too.
Yeah.
yeah.
Still, once it gets over like 105, like once you're up there, it's just saps the strength out of you. It's just punishing.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would definitely echo Kenny's sentiment that like a relationship to nature is a very important thematic element of our music, and especially on this album. The cover is a representation of California wildfires.
Yeah, let
Um,
me show the album cover
yeah,
since we're
yeah,
talking about the album
I
cover.
guess we're just yeah, we're
yeah.
headed
Get
there.
get in there.
No, no, we can show the album. Yeah, because the album artwork, I
Um,
knew it was because I knew oh they're from California, the forest fires, and you had and it's not because you're not raking.
oh, yeah, that's right. Our former president, now felon.
Yeah.
Probably,
That's what he did.
I'm sad to say, probably your new president.
Yeah, no. I will agree
Dude.
with you.
Well,
Yeah.
it's just the choice you have old like old man yelling at the wind to
Hmm.
old man
Yes.
playing old man hushing prostitutes. Like
Oh man.
I like that we're talking about this while we're looking at our album cover. It's
Yeah, just
kind of
like
perfect.
just destruction, man.
Destruction.
Just the coming doom.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
honestly I think the world needs more doom. It's like that's the music that captures some of the discontent that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, especially up here in the States. Um,
Oh,
it's
everywhere,
it's
It's
everywhere.
punishing.
everywhere.
It is everywhere.
We the like here in Puerto Rico we have crappy politicians too.
Oh,
Uh,
of course.
no,
They're
no, but
always they're
here in
everywhere.
Puerto Rico the woman who want to represent this the we have three parties. We have a party that wants to be part of the states. We have a
Mhm.
party that just wants to stay like hey, don't leave us, but hey, we're not a state. And then we have the independent party. But
Mm.
the woman who won for the party that wants to be a state, people vote for her, and they forgot that when we had Hurricane Maria here in Puerto Rico, we had some water that was sent to Puerto Rico, and she kept that water for 2 weeks so she could put a sticker saying that she delivered the water instead of
Oh,
like delivering at the moment. And people
mm.
forgot that, and they voted for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're
Petty.
problems ever. But yeah, no, let's talk about the
Mhm.
album artwork because yeah, it's I read it's hand painted, which
It
looks
is.
great. I look at this and I remember. Do you remember those infomercials with the guy with the afro? It's like let's put some nice paint here.
Oh
Look,
yeah, Bob
Yeah, Bob
Ross.
Ross. Yeah.
yeah, look at the
Yeah,
brush
yeah,
stroke. So tell me a little bit
yeah.
about the artists who did
I like
this
that.
did, and how
Yeah.
much this is Screaming California without
Mhm.
sounding like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, which is good.
Well, that's good. We definitely don't want to
Yeah.
go there. Uh,
That's This is a different take on Californication.
The other side of
Definitely,
California.
definitely.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
and these
tell us a
happy
little
little
bit
little
about the
trees are
artwork.
having a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this painting was we commissioned this painting by a artist named Adam Burke. He goes by I think Nightjar Illustration. Do you
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
on Instagram?
Yeah.
And we just have been fans of his work for a long time. And he made it known that he occasionally collaborates with bands, and so we reached out to him and described what we wanted, and he really really nailed it. This is actually like the full album cover. It continues to the left,
Hmm.
which you can't see in this image, but on the back actually there's like a little tree that's green, that's still alive, that's like growing up out from where the devastation, because the fire's moving left to right from this perspective, so the left is just decimated. But we wanted to have that visual metaphor of of renewal, of growth, of that expression of resilience. Because that is like we lived through this. Actually, like even looking at this image, when we first saw it and first saw the painting, like it actually was hard for me to look at because the Charred, the first song on the album,
Hmm.
has to deal a lot with this fire called the campfire that hit our community super super hard and totally burned down my hometown. And there were pictures from that fire, and I remember it looking so similar to this. It's a small mountain town community in Northern California. And so yeah, when I first saw this, I was like, man, he fucking nailed it. Like it's just it gives that feeling of just existential impending doom and dread of the power that is in a wildfire. But that isn't what we wanted to focus on for the most part. We wanted to focus on um, pushing through
Yeah, there's kind of
tragedies and
beauty
pain.
also because the fire looks like it's waning, and you see
Yeah.
like the sun and the light coming, and
Mhm.
then you see the other side that it's green. And the name, yeah, resilience,
Mm.
some people forget that we are at the mercy of Mother Nature.
Oh
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes people can say no, change is not
Yeah.
really like really like we're getting like like category 5. I think they're almost about to invent a new category for hurricanes. 6, because
Whoa.
because they're so intense, and you got
Yeah.
forest fires, I got hurricanes.
Right. We all have something where the earth's a little bit mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm.
like well, California earthquakes, but you get no hurricanes to that area. And in
No.
the Pacific, they're called tsunamis. It's basically the same thing, but with another name. So yeah, no, I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
the artwork. I think it goes really well. So that song chart, it's all about that forest fire that so it personally affected you.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually the house I grew up in burned down. It really scattered my family. Um, it scattered my whole took out the community that I grew up in. And the landscape has totally changed up there. Like right after when I went up, like I couldn't even find my way around because literally every natural
Mhm.
landmark is gone, and most of the town was engulfed. It was the deadliest wildfire in California's history. It actually killed a lot of people as
Yeah,
well. So
what year was this? Because sometimes
it was 2018, the end of 2018 in November. Yeah.
yeah, and it spread how far from how much space did it
Oh
took for
man,
California?
I don't even remember what the actual like acreage was. It was
A lot of coverage.
massive. Like it took out so much,
And it went quick.
and
It
it
moved
was
really
so
fast.
fast. Because at that point, like that was kind of the peak of this ongoing California drought. And I remember it was really dry. It was so dry. It was like eerily dry for that time of year. Like it just had not rained, not rained. And I remember like my mom telling me after the fact, where she was like, I had a I have a feeling about it. I knew that
Mhm.
something was coming. Like it just wasn't right. Nothing felt right. And yeah, it was a tough time, but
Do you
you know,
guys write the lyrics as a whole as a band, or who tackles more of the subject matter and the lyrics?
oh, that's a really good question. Actually, it's pretty collective.
Mm.
Because you know, I don't do vocals, but Brandon wanted me to be included on Chard, so I wrote some of the lines of the lyrics in there. Um, and then what about did you do much on Chard?
No, but I wrote the lyrics to Ascension and Penance on the album.
Yeah, yeah, those are definitely close to Kenny for
Yeah,
sure.
Brennan and I have wrote them most of the time since we've been in the band since the beginning. And then Nathan, since Nathan has jumped in, you know, he's been taking a stab and collaborating with us, whether he's adding to a song or on the last album you did a song, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I wrote
it's a
Skeleton actually.
collaboration.
Yeah, I wrote all the lyrics
I
for that
think
one.
that's good. That's good because like if someone is feeling like he has to have an idea, the other member can chip in, and it becomes like a group instead
It
of like
does.
being like this person saying like I wrote this, you play this, or something like that.
Yes. Yeah,
So
totally.
Yeah, that's the way that we operate, I think, on all levels, you know. Writing the music too. Somebody might write the main skeleton for the song or whatever, but everyone else is coming in, adding their harmonies, you know, Colby, whatever he's doing with that. I just feel like it's not one person, you know, like sometimes there's bands like that. You get the one person that's got the vision.
Right.
It's like, this is what we're doing. And
yeah.
we're more cohesive together and let everyone contribute in their own way, which is,
No,
I love it.
Yeah, Amarok is definitely a collective for sure.
yeah, I think that's a great thing. And is this like a concept album per se, or is because every song feels interconnected, and plus you have an interlude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Yes.
kind of a concept band if you ask me, but yes, it
You
is.
look like the type of dudes that would have concepts record.
I'll
We have a
take it. I'll
concept
take
or
it.
two for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the rug that you have. Whose house is this? Because that
This
rug.
is this is we're in my room.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Kenny's space here.
Yeah, it's from actually South America. It's from Peru, from the Amazon. There's a tribe
Oh
that makes these tapestries.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it looks awesome.
I've
I
spent a
haven't
lot
been
of time
to.
down there.
Awesome. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
love to go to Peru. I'm guessing, did you went to Machu Picchu?
I have been to Machu Picchu. I've gone there several times, and one of the times I did go. It was awesome, but I went on a 4-day hike, so it was more or less the hike was amazing. We
A
went through
4-day hike.
the Andes, yeah, a 4-day hike,
Wow.
and you got some guys that are carrying like all the heavy stuff in the tents, and we get to just wear our day packs and go way up into the Andes, high elevation. So that was amazing. By the time I got to Machu Picchu, I was like,
Yeah,
this is also incredible, but we also got to see all these ruins where there was no tourists and no one was there. It was a
awesome.
rad experience. Love it down there.
Yeah,
Did
you've
you
done a lot
have
of work
that?
down
Did you
there.
have like that crybaby on the tour? There's like, I have no signal on my phone.
Luckily we didn't. We had a lot of people that were older than us too, you know. I think there's a few people that are like 60, 65, 70. You know, and it was a tough hike. So that was inspiring actually.
That's great because
Yeah.
uh, I know in the States, sometimes I go to States and you see these very old people like morbidly, like in obese, but something that it's nothing against, but it's like it's so sad to see people like that. And then you see people in Europe or other places that are like my father. My father is 70, uh, almost 75 years old, and he goes out and parties more than me. And so that's what you want. So you want to be alive, like age is a number.
Yes.
So
No,
it's great
Absolutely.
to see that there's that people enjoying life instead of like sitting down watching TV and slowly dying, because that's what happens when you stop moving. You
It's
slowly
true.
oh
die.
yeah.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah,
Um,
back that.
yeah, I think it's just that lifestyle thing, you know. Like
yeah.
we really don't have it outside of like some major metropolitan areas, there just really isn't a lot of public transportation here that works. So people don't walk anywhere. Like whenever I visit, like if I go to New York City, like you can walk anywhere, and you can also like take the subway, and the public transportation actually works. So whenever I go there, I'm like,
Really
oh,
good,
this
yeah.
feels like Europe or something. Like, you get so much more activity just in your day to day. But the average American, I think, you sit at home, you sit in your car, you sit at work, you sit in your car, you sit at home, and it's that over and over again.
Yeah. People watching
It's
this
a
are
pandemic.
like, oh
It
my
is.
God, they're being so philosophical on this
Hey,
episode.
you know the concepts, we got them.
The concept. So, yeah. So the album obviously has this concept about resilient and rising up after a catastrophe, which I can relate to, because like here we like when we had the hurricane, we there's people that at least I was 3 months without electricity, and you
Wow.
yeah no you have to be resilient. And at
Hmm.
that moment, I had a newborn, so you have to be resilient. You have to endure, and I think that's something that sometimes I think uh like the generation that's growing up now, that's all like everything is TikTok and everything is immediate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know how they can handle stuff like that, because that doesn't build resilience.
I agree.
Yeah,
That's very true.
yeah, like
I
you
will
were,
say
yeah.
something for the young people because I actually am
Not
a
people.
teacher. And I really like this current generation. They're pretty cool. They got nothing to lose. Like they definitely
Oh,
see the failed experiments of like the millennial generation, and they're
no.
like,
And you gotta
uh-uh.
hand it to them, like they have like a different level of, like when I was growing up, like now you have cyberbullying, like everything
Hmm.
is like all the time, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a lot. Yeah,
Technology is a whole, you know, thing
yeah,
in itself
it
that
is.
that
yeah,
is brilliant as it is.
yeah. That's
You
why I
know,
love
it's
your artwork, because you choose hand painted and not
Yes.
mm,
AI.
No, no way.
yeah,
No,
never
not for art. No
not for
way.
us.
No way.
No, no, there's so many
Organic.
great artists. Like, why would you like you can tell when it's that they had broke strokes and stuff. I'm saying this, and my logo was AI generated.
Hey, it is useful for
Yeah.
something you don't care about. Like I totally get that part. But yeah, it's people are worried about that. But again, my perspective as a teacher, kids hate AI art. I don't think that it's gonna
That's promising.
I don't think it's gonna get off the ground
Dude, that's
other than
I
like,
see its benefits.
you know, yeah, like if I need a logo, whatever, maybe, but like no, real
It just
things
has
that
no
really
soul,
matter.
man.
Yeah.
what class do you teach, Nathan?
I teach high school English and music.
Yeah. And you're
Yeah.
like, you can like put down that Taylor Swift record. Listen to my record.
This is true. Actually, my students are like really, really intrigued by the fact that I'm in such a weird niche metal band. And they're just like, "How are you so chill?" And I'm like, "Uh, listen to my band."
Dude, Funeral Doom, it's chill. It's like there's stoner rock and doom, and
Right.
it's chill as well. But
Yeah,
Funeral Doom, it's supposed to be slow,
it
so
is.
you
Mhm.
have to be chilled.
Like
You can't be like this
You got to
like
be
a
patient.
gotta be
crazy
patient.
thrash metal dude, like who's like
Mhm.
beers.
Yeah. But that the music will still come at you. Like made a
Yeah.
lot of comparisons to black metal, and there's a lot of black metal influence on this album.
Well,
There's
you
one
guys have
section.
forest in California too.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh
We
yeah.
got forest all around us
All
here
over
in
the place.
Chico.
Yeah.
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 Just know, the sometimes the black metal bands, I find them funny, because
Oh
I've
yeah.
seen documentaries where they're trying to be so evil, and then they're like, I live in the basement with my mother.
That's probably indicative of
Yeah.
something there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that there's a part of that that is like probably the trueness of black metal always, which is just like being a nerd, you know. And I think
Well,
black
unless
metal
you're
in
part
it,
of those bands in Norway that killed each other.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
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 I mean, that's a different. I look at that as a different level of nerd, but yeah. And I mean, I say nerd in like the best way, you know,
It's crazy.
not killing each other, but you know,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I mean, I think we're nerds too, like in these niche genres, you know,
Mhm.
and the
Total.
concepts. I mean, that's my favorite part, really, just
Yeah.
to
Yes.
nerd out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How when you guys got together to write this concept, did you knew that you wanted to talk about, something that was not only a concept record, but hit personal to the band? Like, you're just basically talking through the heart because it is you
Yeah,
people, I think people
Yeah.
can connect to something when it's real, like you lived it, so you know what you're talking about.
Exactly. And yes,
yeah. I
100%.
I agree. Also, I think it was kind of serendipitous the way that it worked out. I think that we all knew when we were writing this album and the first few songs. I don't think that from my memory, we didn't know what the lyrical content was
Yeah.
exactly, but I knew that it felt like there was a lot of emotion there. And it really just after the songs were written, we actually went back and did lyrics this time. So it wasn't like this is the name of the song, this is what it's going to be about. We're going to
Hmm.
write it. That we wrote the music, and then it was like, oh, this is the message that wants to come out lyrically.
Yeah. It kind of just started with the raw emotion, and then it was like, okay, we want to deepen the meaning of this and craft each one around a different kind of loss. So the whole concept for the record really is that of losing something, the tragedy of that, but also how to, like, almost practically speaking, like, move through grief.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, each song has a different theme that way. So Charred is focused on the fire, and so it was the loss
Hmm.
of your home.
Which
And then
I think anyone losing a home, people, that's super hard because uh, it's just not a lot of people can experience losing an actual home like that.
Mhm.
yeah, yes,
Puts
loss
life
of
into perspective.
it does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And then Ascension is a loss of self. Penance is a loss of faith, and Legacy is a loss of a loved one. So that's each song. And I mean, those four
The
stages
interlude
are,
is just a time to breathe.
yeah, the interlude kind of came out of me and Kenny, like, just
Noodling around.
musically collaborating. We've been playing together for what, like 10 years?
Yeah. We've
Coming up
never
on
had an
10.
interlude. We're like, let's do an interlude.
Yeah. And so it was a good time to just kind of pause and reflect,
I don't know if you
take
guys
a breath.
remember when there were interludes in the movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
When,
do.
Yep.
uh,
Yeah.
when the movie was, I remember watching
Yeah.
E.T. the Extraterrestrial as a kid, and it had an interlude. And I'm
Yeah.
like, the movie wasn't that long. Why did it have
Yeah.
an interlude?
Yeah, that movie wasn't that long.
Yeah. That's funny.
Well,
I
it's
know.
too maybe for kids. Maybe they're like, yeah, for kids, they need 5 minutes to go pee, right? Or something like
Right. I mean, actually, we're talking about sitting the whole time. Maybe that's smart, they're like
yeah.
a
Yeah,
little
because
bit and go sit back down. Go burn
Yeah.
some calories after popcorn and soda.
Get your brain
yeah.
back online,
But then in the
Yeah.
90s, they forgot about interludes. And then I got to see Titanic, the whole, and I'm like, damn it.
No interlude.
No
See?
interlude in that one. Mm-mm.
You're like,
Could use a
when will
few.
this ship
It,
sink? I'm like,
but when it came out on VHS, it was two VHS tapes, so there
oh
was
yeah,
an interlude at
it was
home.
an interlude. Yeah, could you remember going in 1939 or something to the movie theater to see Gone with the fucking Wind? Like I would be
Uh,
like,
yeah. Funny story, actually.
Right.
A lot of Gone with the Wind was actually filmed here in Chico in
oh really?
Upper Park in the park. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there's a street in our town actually called Warner. And that's for Warner Brothers. They were trying to set this up as a kind of like on location spot. Um, but it's probably a really good thing that that did not really actually happen.
So
But
yeah,
yeah,
a totally different city.
Well,
would have
well,
been a real
that
different
movie's
town.
canceled now.
Is it?
Oh, I didn't know
What
that.
happened? Well, I mean, it's
Well,
old, so
I
I'm
don't.
sure there was.
Well, people complain that the way they treated slaves. It's a movie. It's a period movie
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah,
something that happened. You can't.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
just
A lot of
complained
history
that
is
it
real
was so
ugly.
long and boring, and apparently it's a classic. And I'm like, what's so classic about it?
Yeah, I've never actually made it
It's
through
like
it.
a super long, like soap opera
it
about
is.
this chick that wants the ugly dude, and then the good looking dude at the end says, you know what, go fuck yourself. That's Gone with the Wind in 1 minute.
There
Dude,
you
that's the
go.
best.
With
You should
slavery,
do you should do movie
in the
reviews.
movie and the Civil
Yeah.
War. Basically, that's the movie. See, I should be a movie critic after this.
You should. You
That
should.
was good. That was a good hot take. I support
Yeah,
that.
a hot take, a 1 minute review of that movie.
Yeah, you got to
Uh,
do a whole side series on that. Just get a bunch of reels out there. I think that'd be
Oh yeah,
cool.
yeah, I know. There's well, I've been trying with some friends to like talk about old movies, and we wanted
Mhm.
to do Predator. And my
Oh,
friend's like, "Oh, I haven't seen it again." I'm like, "It's Predator. How
it's
much
so
do you
good.
need to see it?" It's like Arnold going like, "Get to the chopper. Come on,
Yeah.
it's not that hard." Uh,
Yep. That's
you're
a
old
classic though.
learner.
Action packed.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
got what's his name? The wrestler dude?
Jesse Ventura was on that
Jesse
movie.
Jesse Ventura.
Ventura. Yeah, the sexual Tyrannosaurus is what he calls
Jesse
himself.
Ventura,
Fantastic
Carl
film.
Weathers was in
Oh
the movie.
yeah, Carl Weathers wasn't there.
Yeah, he was Dylan.
It's a heavy, loaded cast.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this. I know a lot about movies too. Originally, the Predator was going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No way.
Yeah,
Well, then
he
the
was
Predator would
thinking
have
that
won.
first of all, like he's short, and
Yeah.
and you're like you imagine like Arnold and then Jean-Claude Van Damme, and he would
The-
be like,
Just doing the
the
splits
movie's
and
over. So then they took this like 7 foot guy, like
yeah,
because
very imposing.
you know like he looks so much taller
Mhm.
than Arnold. So yeah, it's but yeah, my friend, he's like, oh, I need to rewatch it. I'm like, dude, it's Predator. It's not deep.
There's an alien that kills people in the story.
Yeah,
that one's pretty nostalgic though. I'd throw it
Yeah,
on for nostalgia every now and again.
it's a
dude,
great
I
movie.
love that movie.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
still a great movie.
it's a
Uh,
classic.
but yeah, so no, but yeah, going back to the album Resilience. So yeah, you're touching upon all those subjects, and it goes like it has atmosphere to it. So when you guys started as a band, which bands influenced the sound of Amarok?
Yeah, that's a pretty wide array of stuff, I think. But oh man,
Yeah.
when I first met Brandon, trying to remember, I mean, I'd say Burning Witch was
Mhm.
was one that I remember he and I heavily talking about drawing influence from that. Um, I think also just Sleep, Dope Smoker, just that one song.
A classic, a classic
Yeah.
record.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of stuff I know for myself, Oh, I know we were definitely heavily influenced by Asunder from Oakland.
For sure. Yeah. Should check out Asunder if you haven't. They're
Yeah.
incredible.
Amazing. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff for me personally. I was always just Cathedral, Forest of Equilibrium. That album itself was like cool. Like this is all I need to be influenced to write what I want to write.
Yeah, awesome. So Nathan, what bands do you make your students listen to?
What bands do I make my students listen to? Actually, they're going through this whole 90s revival right now. So they're into
I
all
love the
kinds of stuff.
90s.
Yeah.
Well, you have Weezer, like
Yep.
celebrating
Yep.
30 years of the Blue Album. You
I
have the
know.
Smashing Pumpkins coming back. You have Pearl
Yep.
Jam releasing new music. Uh, yeah,
Yeah. Pearl
yeah.
Jam.
I'm a 90s type of guy. So everything 90s, I love. I don't want to be biased, but the 90s had great music in all styles.
Agreed.
It was a
Like,
good era of music
There
for
was.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where they're at. And then, I support that. And not just the Weezer Smashing Pumpkins thing. Kids
you're
are
like,
really into like Helmet.
here, listen to some
Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse.
I know. Get some
Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse
You
in
said Helmet though.
there.
That
Helmet
man.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
It's going back hard. They're
Helmet
so
is
good.
a very underrated band, in my opinion.
Agreed. Agreed.
They're
Uh,
so good. That their drummer is incredible. Just the idea of tuning the snare up till it's about to just break, and then that's your snare sound. Like that was
I
cool.
remember listening to like I got like Betty in the
Yeah.
mall on cassette tape when I was
in the
pretty young.
ball.
Betty
Yeah,
was
at the
nuts.
mall. And I didn't even know. I was like, this looks cool. This is like the weirdest album
Yeah,
ever.
it's so weird that like
And
50s
that
girl
that
on the
album,
cover.
yeah.
It's
I'll
fantastic.
still pull that one out every now and again. Appreciate it.
Yep, it's a good one.
Yeah,
So
it's such good stuff. And in metal, in everything. It was really a great era. So uh, I know that you are guys are planning a big tour in
We are.
July, and you are going on tour. It's gonna be a North American tour. You're gonna be basically the almost the whole month of July, and it's gonna be with you are touring with a band called Mizmor, which I
yeah.
haven't listened to. I'll have to check them out.
Oh, you gotta check out
Yeah.
Liam's project. It's Mizmor is very it's there's a lot of overlap there. So I'm really excited that we're going to go on tour because it's definitely the right audiences
Mhm.
for us, and we're much less known than Mizmor is, but pretty contemporaries and friends of
So are you
ours.
gonna are you opening for them, or are you going to do?
Yeah, we're
Mhm.
supporting.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. And yeah, it's a whole North American tour and a couple shows in Canada and looping back around. And yeah, we've done one national tour before
Mhm.
on Devoured. So this will be a similar kind of thing.
We did one before that, before you were in the band.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You did third. Yeah.
Yeah.
So three
How
national
do you
tours.
guys set up the tour with do you like track like where do people listen more to Funeral Doom? Because you're not gonna be like, let's go to Miami.
We
Actually,
did.
we played Miami,
Yeah,
You
we
and
played,
did.
that
man.
was a great show. I love
Yeah.
Miami.
I
That
used
was
to
a
live in
cool spot.
Miami a few
Oh
years
yeah,
ago, but
nice.
sometimes the cool shows were more at Fort Lauderdale. I had to drive like 45 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they had some cool bands in Miami.
We
Uh,
played in St. Petersburg too.
oh,
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, the Miami show was amazing because it was like this
it
weird
was
kind
like a
of
nightclub.
nightclub like split venue. So they had a room like just for like rock music and bands, and then you'd go through this door, and then you were in this like dance floor with like
Like reggaeton and
and
cocaine.
so you could go through this portal door
Yeah.
and be like
Yeah, you were
it
like,
was
and then you were
it
like,
was trippy.
boom,
It was
boom.
a fun show.
You went
And
from metal to Bad Bunny.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Basically.
Yeah, it was a weird one, but
Yeah,
it was fun.
Miami's. I lived there almost 4 years, and I never want to go back again.
Yeah, yeah. Take some of the life out of you with the bars that never close and
Uh,
Yeah.
I had 2 kids, man. I didn't go to
I got it.
I get it.
I got it then.
No,
Yeah.
I went to some concerts when I saw some cool shows there. So yeah, but the tour's gonna be, you're gonna hit more. A lot of you're gonna be more
We're,
focused like on the Midwest and
yeah, we're not going in the South this time,
Mhm.
which middle July, yeah,
mm,
that's okay.
it's too
Yeah.
hot.
Yeah, on the last one, it was like you would get out of the van, and because we had the AC going in the van, you get out and you were just immediately wet because it was like your shirt was a little bit cool, so the condensation just happened instantly.
Yeah,
It
and
was
you guys
crazy.
got long hair. Is there
Yeah.
ever a time that it's so hot that you're like, I know we're in metal, but fuck this hair?
Yeah, actually, I wear it up a lot for that reason. I pretty much only take my hair down for shows, just because it's fucking hot.
There's a
It is.
contrast because I never put mine up.
I know this dude is like, I
No,
don't know how he
and
does it.
I don't know if they if they ever told you about you, you kind of resemble a little bit like a metal Jake Gyllenhaal. It's Tony Darko in the band.
Awesome.
Me or Kenny?
Yeah, this
No,
guy or me?
him.
Me?
Yeah,
Kenny.
Kenny.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny, yeah. And people say we look similar sometimes too. They're like, are you guys
You
brothers?
class
Well,
like
when he wears glasses,
Oh yeah, if I got glasses on,
then it's like we both
a
have
lot.
beards, glasses, and long hair, so we must look alike.
There you go.
you can't have glasses in metal.
Yeah, I guess that I broke that rule.
Yeah, yeah.
You're
Yeah,
like
you did.
you need to see. So yeah, that tour's gonna be awesome. So it's just gonna be in a few weeks. You're gonna be on tour. The album is gonna be out on the 6th, June the 28th. So in a week. So uh,
Yeah.
will you do like an album, like a local show for an album release, or are you just gonna do the tour?
Yeah, we are. We're gonna do a show here in Chico on July 6th. I actually need to finish the show poster for that.
Yeah,
But
get on it.
but yeah, we're doing one local show just to kind of kick off the tour, and then we head down to LA and join Mizmor.
Yeah, no, that's good. You want to have that album release, and I know you are gonna the record. You're gonna have it digitally, but you're gonna have vinyls. I'll
Yeah.
post the link for people who want to get the vinyl. I said
Nice.
vinyls. I'm sure some like vinyls is gonna be like it's vinyl. You
Well,
put
hey,
S
there
in it.
there's two different colors. There's a green
Ah,
one and there's a black one. So hey, there's two different ones.
yeah,
So
there's two
you nailed
different
it.
ones. Which one do you prefer, the green one or the other one?
Green.
Green is really beautiful. We actually we
It's like
got them
marbled.
all. Yeah, it's like this marbled, beautiful green color. And then the Euro edition is an orange like fire swirl pattern. It's really, really cool. We'll have a few of the Euro ones on tour that we'll sell, but we only got a couple of them. Most of them are just
Yeah, you can get
staying
them
over
from
there.
Vendetta Records though.
Yeah.
Quite
Vendetta
a map.
Records is the our European distribution on that.
Yeah, and in the States, who if the people want to get it?
Well, right now there's the pre-order before the release. If you want to listen to the whole record first, there is going to be streaming on Brooklyn Vegan on the 24th of the full album. We've released two tracks for people to listen to. So yeah, there's pre-orders through us through Bandcamp or Big Cartel. We have both of those. And then we do have distribution through Midheaven Revolver for the States. So it'll be showing up in record stores. It'll just be a little bit slower. So if you want it, you should pre-order it and I will mail it to you.
Yeah, that sounds great. And
Personally.
yeah, personally, like
Actually, yes, personally, I will.
yes, you're gonna draw. I'm like, here's your record. So
Yeah,
the
we did
24th,
DIY on that.
what time is it gonna be streaming?
I can't remember the time of day.
I've already listened to it, people, but
Yeah, yeah. You have it.
Nice. You got it. Is it good?
yeah, it's good, and it's like 50 minutes, right? I know it's like
Yeah.
it's long, but it's because you got that.
It's a workout.
Well, unless Bellwitch has something to say, they're like 50 minutes. We got a
Yeah,
1
they'll
hour
just
and
be like,
20
too
minutes
bad.
song.
Yeah, yeah, we got you guys. They got us beat there.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like,
We're homies with those guys too, and
oh
yeah,
yeah, I've interviewed I think
of
one
length.
of the members for his two side projects. He's a really cool guy. Yeah.
Both of them are.
Yeah, the both of them
Yeah.
are for sure.
Yeah.
And Jesse is doing drums in Mizmor for this tour
From Bellwitch, yeah.
From Bellwitch, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it should be a fun time. So before I let you guys go, like we're at the middle of the year when a lot of people post they're like, these are my favorite albums so far. I did one last year, but this year I'm like, I'm just gonna wait till the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because then I'll post some in the mid-year, and if they don't appear in the middle year, they'll be like, but you had this in the mid-year. What the fuck happened? And I'm like, no, some other album came that was better. So,
Yeah, it's hard to do a top five before the year's over, but
yeah,
yeah,
I
a lot of
usually do
albums
like
drop
a
this time of year.
top 25 and I divide them, but my top five, I do it with a friend of mine and I give my top five and she gives her top five. And we have like different musical tastes. So it's interesting
Oh
because
yeah.
we never have like one album in common. So yeah, it's good. So now that it's mid-year, like what are you guys been listening to recently?
Oh, like new releases or just stuff that we're
It
listening
doesn't
to?
have to be new releases. Just
All right.
Cool.
what are you listening to currently?
Yeah, I've been on a throwback kick. Candlemass, Ancient Dreams. Um, uh, what's the Well, I've also been listening to a lot of ambient music, like a lot of different ambient playlists.
Mhm.
And one of them, though, that I've been listening to a lot, as always, is Steve Roach, Structures from Silence. That's been something that's been in the mix. And then truthfully, I've been listening to a demo over and over and over that I'm in the works of making myself. And when I think of what I've been listening to, I've been like proofing it in my mind, like you got to listen to it over and over and over.
Dude, he stole mine. I've been listening to this record a lot as well. I did some mastering for it, and
Mhm.
it was like, this is really good, man. What's your project?
It's called Mirroridian.
He'll have some CDs on the side.
That has a cool name, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I'm
now
sick of
people,
it already.
well, if you're like
Listened to it so much, I'm
listening
sick.
to it over and over again, like yeah, you will
Yeah.
get. Yeah, sometimes I listen to a lot of different music, and but I talk to a lot of metal bands. So sometimes, like today, I was listening to a lot of metal bands, and when I was driving in the car to get my kids, I wanted to listen to some Phil Collins.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah, dude. Totally.
There's
And
a
it
time and
was
a place
because
for
I
that.
was interviewing this band from Germany, and the drummer told me that his favorite drummer of all time is Phil Collins, and then I'm like, now I have to listen to Phil Collins.
It's hard to beat Uncle Phil.
He's a
Yeah,
good drummer.
no,
My
yeah,
last name is Collins, so I like to call him Uncle Phil.
Uncle
But I'm
Phil.
no relation to Phil Collins at all.
No, no,
Not
no,
even.
no, yeah, I know you'd be like, come on, like Phil, like support the
Come
band, take
play
us
drums.
on.
Come play
You
drums.
imagine you guys opening up for Phil Collins?
Oh, dude, that would be amazing. It's the
The
Sam
people
Rock
would
and
be
Phil Collins.
what is this? This doesn't sound like another day.
Probably people probably lose some attendance after we
Yeah,
play.
I think people would just walk out. We can definitely clear a room if it's the wrong crowd for sure. Because,
Yeah,
like I
no,
was saying, it's an experience seeing Amarok live. If you don't know what you're getting, um, yeah, it can be a surprise. It can take you by surprise. It's
yeah.
it's a
Well,
big
for you
sound.
guys, like, what's the weirdest band or like weirdest show that you guys like
Oh,
musically that you've been to?
this is a good question. I'm gonna let Kane take this.
We've got like a diary full,
Mm.
really. Just doing DIY tours across the Midwest. I can't even remember where we were, but man, where was that at?
Are you going Carpet Farmer?
No.
Not Carpet Farmer.
The no guy.
Oh, one more time.
One more time.
One more time. Yeah, there was this band called Dumpster Service.
Dumpster Service.
And
Shout out Dumpster Service.
where was that though?
You guys are
It
something
was a
else.
crazy show because there was it like no one promoted it. No, like there was no one there. There was just like basically just the bands hanging out.
Yeah.
And they
Oh
were
my
just
God.
these super weird
I just think that we
shit
weren't ready
bands.
for musically what was going to happen, and it
Definitely not.
was sheer entertainment,
It
and
was
I
hilarious.
loved it.
Yeah.
At
Also,
least it wasn't Gigi Allen
it was
from
a weird one.
Pieces at you.
Yeah.
That's true. There was no, I have not experienced feces projectiles.
Yeah, we've never really had anything negative like that happen, which is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, only one time I went to see like a local, I think it was a local band. They were like a golf band in a tiny club. And the singer like had some fake blood and she threw everything right in my face. And
Oh,
I'm like, bitch, what did I do to you?
were you just like blinded for the rest of the
Yeah,
time?
I'm like, and I'm with my date and she's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah. like with all this stuff thrown in my
Was it
face.
was this like an early date at the
Uh,
time? Like had you
I'm trying to remember. It was like back in 1997. Yeah, well, no, she was my girlfriend. I think like, yeah, it was like a, no, it wasn't a first date. If that, it was,
okay, I just
It's a
imagined
throwback.
it like a first or second date where you just get blasted and then you're
no,
like,
no, no, no.
oh.
And I remember I went to a show here in Puerto Rico that Sworn Enemy, which is a hardcore band, was playing
Yep.
here.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yep.
it was a tiny club, and then the people started doing a mosh pit, and there was this like this girl that she was huge. She was there, and every time she passed near me, she would punch me somewhere.
Oh.
And then I took my friend. I'm like, please protect me. Every time she comes around, she hits me. And he asked me, do you know her? I'm like, I don't know her. I don't know who she is, but apparently she's mistaking me from someone. But she did, and she always kept hitting me. So there's like on the fifth time she was coming at me, so I moved, and she hit the bar.
Oh. Oh.
I'm like, that hurts, right?
Karma. Karma, right?
Karma,
Yeah. Yeah, I still
Uh,
to this day, I don't know why she wasn't hitting anyone else. She just every time she passed where I was, she would deliberately hit me. And I
uh,
started thinking, did I go out with her and forgot her name? Like I
yeah,
don't know
yeah,
her, but
Maybe
yeah,
she liked you.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That
that's a
sounds
weird
like that
way.
to me.
Yeah, that's a very kindergarten. Like if he hits you,
It's very
or
kindergarten
like
for sure.
like he likes you. No. So yeah, so Dumpster, like what were they like really out there musically, the Dumpster Truck?
They they did whatever they wanted.
They definitely did.
They
Yeah.
would just stop in the middle of the song and go into like what kind of breakdown was that? Like from a
There was like they played like
and I made
half of a
love
Beatles cover
and then
mid
back into
song and then like stopped and then went back into their thing. It was like totally just
there
random
was a guitar player
art.
and a drummer.
A Yeah, and the drummer was the vocalist.
Yeah.
And like the drummer's girlfriend was there too, and she was like just doing all this like weird belly dancing type stuff, just like and she was the only one standing out there though.
You're
It
in
was just
trouble if they see
it
this.
was like, wow. I know, I probably am. I hope we don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to get on the bad side of dumpster service.
We've we
That's
we've played a lot of shows with just bands that are so
Oh,
unexpected.
I called them Dumpster
That's
Truck,
so
Dumpster
fun.
Service.
dumpster truck. I like dumpster
We could
truck
go
though.
with dumpster truck.
Dumpster truck sounds good.
Yeah. I'll have to Google them, see if they're like maybe I'll have them on the show and they're like, let's talk about that show that you guys played.
Oh yeah, there'll be a feud. Sure.
Yeah. If you I can see the blabbermouth like Amarok feuds with Dumpster Truck, trashing tales.
Yeah, rap battle.
Rap battle. Yeah.
Where
Diss
were
track.
they from? Were they like East Coast versus West Coast? Or
It
well,
was Midwest somewhere.
no, yeah, no, that doesn't rhyme. Midwest versus West Coast. Yeah, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can have a feud. So guys, it's been fun chatting with you guys about the album.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Amarok Resilience out on the 28th of June, and you can catch them live in North America through the month of July. If you leave some of those places, it should be a fun time. So, anything that you like to say to the fans before we go tonight?
Uh, if you're listening to our album, if you purchase our album, we appreciate it. Thanks for supporting us. And yeah, excited to hit the road again and appreciate your time.
And
Yeah.
I really hope that you find meaning in what we've created, and I hope that it speaks to you. That's my favorite thing is sometimes we'll play shows, right? And they'll be like someone who comes up who's just so genuinely like moved by what happened, like the song has become a part of their life, and I think that's happens whenever you make art and you put it out into the world. But that is just really, really meaningful when you know that you've touched someone and maybe helped them through a dark time, or maybe, you know, um, just the power of music, and that's my favorite thing, and I hope that this does that for you.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll have that type of fan or the jackass that will scream, "Play Slayer."
They definitely don't shout that at us after
Yeah,
we hit
no.
the first note.
I think people have definitely said play faster.
They definitely.
Heard that. And then people say play louder because
Ooh,
Oh my
it's
God.
loud and slow. So
yeah,
Louder.
yeah.
You
Lots of
can please,
bass as
yeah,
well.
you can't please everyone. But guys, it's
yeah.
been great chatting with you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are like super cool, super chill. And I really enjoyed the record. It's a record that you can really space out and very deep, very deep record with
Thank you.
some really emotion besides it. And that gives the lyrics and everything like more weight because we're
Right.
talking about like real world stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I would recommend it to people who like funeral doom and everything that we've been talking about. So until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.